Okay, folks, we are back, and we're gonna stream some Horizon Zero Dawn tonight. We're gonna be picking up just about where we left off. We're in Sunfall. We're about to go into the main area, which is Do Not Return. Well, point of no return. So we ended it there so we'd get a clean transition into today's session where I could actually spend some time on it. I'm starting a little later than I normally would have wanted to, but here we are. So I'm going to get it loaded while I get the chat up on my laptop. Alright, and we are getting there. We are almost loaded. And chat is up. So if anybody hops on, it says hi, I can actually see you. And we're going to see how far we can get through this. I got a feeling that this Sunfall quest is basically going to be all I'm going to be focusing on tonight. So I don't think I'll have a chance to pop out of it and work on any of the side quests. I think it's all or nothing at this point. Again, I'm not quite clear on how far through the game we are. I think I'm somewhere around 2/3 done with it, with at least the main quests, and I still have a bunch of side quests to go.
Right in the Citadel. Gotta see the sun rays.
And a typical
For the Kestrels.
And hello there, typical cheetah.
They want us to see this, boy.
Okay,
It
so
makes
it looks
quite
like
an
I messed
impression.
up my save a little bit. So I just have to get back over to
The balustrade. It's a short drop from there.
yeah, I just have to get back over to the place where the door to the next area is. And last time I did this, I fell over here. But I gotta go down. Alright. Don't want to fall over here because that's not good. There we go. Oh, I want to go down. Let's,
Other side of the tower. Look for a vent.
just gonna have to check my supplies and ammo. Gotta actually make sure I make a good amount of ammo now. That should be good enough. And here we go.
I see you've been here before.
Obviously. Now, it's very important that you hear what I'm about to say. I've shown you the way in, but this humble vent marks a point of no return. Before you descend into the depths here, you should be fully committed, equipped, and focused. No distractions. If you have errands to run, do them first or hold your peace. I won't tolerate whining. Is that clear?
You'll tolerate what I give you, Silence. I didn't ask you along for the ride.
Alright, so let's do this and see what happens.
I'm heading down.
I've spent a lifetime trying to uncover the secrets of this world. Where the machines came from. How the old ones achieved such marvels only to fall into silence and death. A lifetime of failure, as year by year, decade after decade, I hit walls I could not break, doors I could never breach.
Hello.
Until a Nora Huntress marched out of the savage East. And voila, for her, all the deepest secrets of the Earth were laid bare. I suspect you'll have an easier time with this door than I did years ago.
Hold for identiscan. Genetic profile confirmed. Entry authorized. Malfunction. 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 Malfunction.
Kidding me?
You don't hear me laughing.
Shut up. There's gotta be another way. Hey! Elizabeth Sobek here! Requesting access!
Access request acknowledged. Root command functions available. Do you wish to proceed?
I do! Get me through this door!
Analyzing. Primary access inoperable due to mechanical failure. Emergency venting procedure likely to circumvent blockage. Do you wish to proceed?
Yes.
Emergency venting authorized.
I underestimated you. So by now,
Guess you can't have everything.
that will draw attention. We won't have this place to ourselves for long now.
We? Last I checked, I was the one risking my life down here.
Yes, fine. Now will you please get moving? There's so much to learn in less time than I'd hoped.
Alright, here we go.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn.
Zero Dawn. We found it.
Are you really so surprised?
Facility diagnostics detect multiple failures. Attempting repair.
So,
Let's see, another instance. Text data points, staff. Morning's unfortunate instance with Dr. Popovich is another example of reception's need for additional support. We appreciate that Zero Dawn is an immensely complicated project, but the staff who serve on the front line were tired of being neglected. We've already requested we need human translators fluent in Polish, for example, security staff who can subdue enraged embryologists, for example, and dermal sedatives to calm persons who are screaming in Polish while hurling chairs and faces at reception staff, for example. Yes, most of the candidates are reasonably calm and well-behaved, but we need help handling the exceptions to that rule. Please respond. So they're doing something to people.
what was this room?
An entrance hall, perhaps. Have a look around.
We need support 2 data point. This one says reception staff continues to require additional support managing ZD candidates when they arrive at the facility. Many are frightened or confused, some are highly agitated. These are not the sort of persons who are accustomed to having information withheld from them. At minimum, we need human translators, the language bots are not sufficient, and mild sedatives for the extreme cases. Any and all support would be welcome. Perhaps you could start by responding to one of these mails. It's a bunker door.
Please take a seat and wait for your name to be called. A selection of beverages and snacks are available.
A smaller room.
Some sort of reception hall. Definitely. Another data point. Lounge staff talking about soundproofing. Would it be possible to improve the soundproofing between VR1 and the lounge area? Most of the candidates stay quiet during the presentation, but the ones who scream or sob can be plainly heard by the candidates waiting their turn in the lounge. Just a thought. Alright, so whatever is there is not pleasant. Let's see, we got this area is opened up full, so... What was that? Secure containment hatch. For the 5th time, please restock the lounge's selection of herbal teas. If I have to listen to one more egghead throw a tantrum because we're out of organic cucumber mint or blackberry sage varietals, I'm going to lose it. No tempest in a teapot or steep demand jokes. Okay. A little bit of humor in a very, otherwise very serious situation. I thought I saw it. Oh, that's the big main door. I'm catching a... That's a data point that I already gathered.
Please proceed into viewing room 1 for an important message regarding the purpose of your visit.
Alright, let's proceed into viewing room 1.
What was this place?
A holographic theater.
CD01 data intact. Initiating playback.
Alright, here we go. This should be interesting.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn. I am General Harris, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States of America. I'm sure you've heard the rumors that Zero Dawn is a top-secret superweapons program, the technological miracle that will save us from the Pharaoh Plague, if Operation Enduring Victory can hold off the robots long enough. The reason I'm sure you've heard the rumors is that I'm the one who spread them, and they are all lies. Zero Dawn is not a superweapons program, and it will not save us. Nothing will save us.
Hence the screaming.
Here's why. By the time the glitch was noticed, it was already too late. Nothing could stop the Pharaoh Plague. Nothing can. Its robots will continue to replicate and devour the biosphere. Life on Earth will be destroyed. Our planet reduced to a barren sphere. Global extinction is inevitable. No matter how many we kill, the robots just keep exponentially making more. If we had their deactivation codes, we could shut them all down. The entire swarm. But since their cryptographic protocols use polyphasic entangled waveforms, cracking a code set would take half a century. At best, we've got 16 months. Not exactly what you'd call a survival option. The destruction of a biosphere is not the sort of apocalypse you can wait out in a fallout shelter or a space station. There will be no Earth left to reclaim. Just a lifeless, toxic rock with several million Pharaoh robots on it, hibernating, waiting for something to eat. This is the horrible truth behind the lies of Operation Enduring Victory. My lies. Lies designed to inspire millions of innocents to sacrifice themselves in battle. Why? One reason. To buy time for you and the work you will do here. Zero Day. The day that life on Earth ceases to exist is coming fast. It cannot be stopped. The hope of Zero Dawn is that something new might come after. But I will leave it to Elizabeth Sobek to shine that thin ray of light into the darkness. Harris, out.
Okay. That was grim.
That doesn't make sense. Life on Earth didn't cease to exist.
He said it could not be stopped.
But it was. Somehow Elizabeth saved us. I've got to keep looking. Find out how she did it.
I don't think she did. I think we're all clones.
Kestrels. They got in. Through the vents.
Let nothing stop you from learning the truth.
Spread out! If it moves, kill it!
What is this place? Tomb?
Alright, I got a fight on my hands.
Data points. What do they contain?
Let's see what this one says.
With Suzanne Alpert, environmental scientist. Doctor?
I'm sorry, I wasn't,
Just stating your name. What were you thinking about, Doctor?
Nothing the General said. Not really. I was on the Syzygy East Response Team in 2051, just after the second earthquake compromised the reactor. I still dream about it, after all these years. The red zone spreading on the imaging, slowly, so slowly, like a hand opening its fingers.
Your involvement in that event is why you were asked for by name.
Really? That's interesting. Because nothing worked. Nothing could grow there again. It was a catastrophic failure. But the red zone is a blip compared to global-scale biomass reduction. The biosphere and hydrosphere will collapse, render the Earth uninhabitable long before the robots finish us. Enduring victory can't buy time against that. So, you'd better show me what Zero Dawn really is.
Lots of these interviews here. Counselor guidelines. Candidates must be allowed to ask questions and be given the necessary time to fully absorb the information they've received. It is important to be aware that candidates have just been exposed to triggers for severe mental and emotional trauma. Do not assume silence or outward calmness indicates acceptance. It is essential to stress that all other options for combating this feral plague and preserving the continuation of the human life have been considered and found unworkable. Communicate this fact calmly, but clearly and firmly. Familiarize yourself with data on the catastrophic environmental impact of nuclear engagements versus the swarm and unfeasibility of maintaining life in orbital, lunar, or undersea structures. That you can counter candidates' objections in depth. If a candidate asks for time alone to review supplementary information, allow this without hesitation. Be sure to inform security personnel so the candidate can be monitored for attempts at self-harm. Let's see, is this the one I saw? Yeah, that's the one I saw. check these data points.
I'm sure you now understand the urgency of why we brought you here, Ms. Okilo.
Captain Okilo, are you trying to thank me for not resisting?
I
Information
believe
warfare
we could
specialist.
negotiate a diplomatic solution.
When it came to my country's lithium, it was always a swarm that would be sent to negotiate. Metallurgic International, U.S. Robot Command. The markings changed, but the robots were the same.
You have had considerable experience in human-robot conflict.
Yes, and I've got the prosthetic limbs to show it. Yet I continue to face this horror, even though the challenge was great. Cyber warfare. I thought Zero Dawn would be a Manhattan project to generate the deactivation codes. With the resources I had, I estimated code breaking to be a hopeless endeavor. I was almost looking forward to being proved wrong.
Unfortunately, your estimation was correct.
As your General Hera said. So then, you did not bring me here to commiserate. What is left?
Creepy. I'm sure there are more data points around here. Another side to this room. Alright, lots and lots of data points around here. Interview with Ron Felder.
Look, let's cut the mystery. You're building a colony ship. It's obvious. And it's not gonna fly. I mean, literally. Remember the Odyssey? That multinational heap of space junk that's been in graveyard orbit since '57? That went nowhere real slow. And you have to get somewhere real fast. Do you have any idea the immensity of the challenge to prep a new colony ship in time?
To be clear, I'm not a worker on the project.
Do you even understand how few people it could save? The whole generation ship concept is not gonna happen. It's the first thing you'd abandon in favor of embryonics. For that kind of storage, we're talking a lot of bulk, a lot of power, a lot of resources. So even if you do it, even if you build it and point it at Sirius X, there's no room for people on that thing, all right?
If you could try to remain calm.
You people are crazy if you think you're getting off this rock. No one's getting off.
Medical.
Let's go over this way. More data points. Another interview.
You previously worked for Faro Automated Systems.
On the Chariot Line self-replication routines. I came here thinking this was a rendition. When your people took me, I thought, about time. I've been trying to swallow the guilt every day since...
Would you like to take a moment?
No, I just... I really hoped Zero Dawn was a way to undo it all. My work. And I'm sorry to say I was ever proud of it, but Ted could really sell a concept, and in the labs, in the light of creation, that first test run, when you saw they understood their own structures, could rebuild themselves from memory and light, there were no limits. God, there were no limits.
Travis Tate, data security consultant.
Want to discuss?
Whew. So Mama, she was right.
Pardon?
My mother, she took her Bible real serious. Not just Texas Bible serious, Pentecostal serious. Favorite chapter? Revelations. Now, I didn't always understand her on account of all that speaking in tongues and such, but when she did use her words, there was always end times this and lake of fire that on account of sinful lifestyles. Speaking of which, mind if I smoke?
A tobacco cigarette.
Sorry, darling. My taste run classic. Compliments to your team tracked me down. Been a price on my head 18 months now. Sterling Malkeet was me, don't mind admitting. Been plenty of snakesters chasing the bounty too. But I kept the zigging to their zag.
Oh, quote-unquote data security consultant.
How'd you finger me?
I believe Dr. Sobek listed you as an alpha candidate. Priority snatch and grab.
Always suspected she had a little thing for me. Hey, I don't suppose you got real coffee in this place.
Sounds like Matthew McConaughey.
You know, blood coffee? Conflict cappuccinos?
Mr. Tate, I'm clearing you to proceed. Just go.
Ooh. He was creepy enough that the interviewers didn't like him very much either. Okay, so it looks like I've got to go back this way and check out the big doors. Look back here, just make sure I didn't miss anything. Yep, looks like these doors are next. Oh wait, was there something else over here? No, okay. Let's see what we can find here.
CB02 data intact. Initiating playback.
Elizabeth Sobek.
More exposition.
You've heard the bad news, and it's all true. The Pharaoh Plague is devouring the biosphere. Life itself will cease to exist. But does that have to be the end? What if we could give life a future? What if we could build a kind of seed from which, on a dead planet, life could blossom anew? This is the aim, the hope, of Project Zero Dawn. To create a super-intelligent, fully automated terraforming system and bring life back from lifelessness. What would such a system require? At its core, it would need a true AI, fully capable of making the trillions of decisions necessary to reconstitute the biosphere. An immortal guardian, devoted to the reflourishing of life. We call it Gaia. Mother Nature as an AI. But that's just the core of the system. She will need to be surrounded and empowered by a comprehensive suite of subordinate functions. Think of them as extensions of Gaia's mind, each dedicated to a specific purpose. Now, these aren't AIs, but make no mistake, each presents an engineering challenge more profound than anything the human species has ever before attempted. Hardware that preserves and then gestates the billions of seeds and embryos from which life will be reborn. The construction of underground facilities to hold it all. And that's just the start. We don't have to build the entire system. The beauty of a fully automated terraforming system is that it can build itself. Now, over the days to come, you'll learn how all these functions, all these pieces that you'll be working on, fit together. How we'll race the clock to execute our harvest initiatives, write the software, build the tech and the facilities. How we'll lock it down and seal it up before the inevitable occurs. But even more important, you'll know how it doesn't end here. How Gaia will generate those deactivation codes General Harris talked about, and build the transmission arrays to broadcast them, shutting down the Pharaoh robots for good. How Gaia will not just build, but imagine any conceivable robot it needs to do its work across centuries. From detoxifying the Earth's ravaged atmosphere and poisoned seas, to the regreening of the Earth from cryopreserved seed stalks, to rewilding the Earth with animal life. And then, when all that is done, how a new generation of human beings, spawned at cradle facilities around the globe, will partake of Apollo, the vast archive of human knowledge and cultural achievement from which they will learn of us, our world. And most important, how not to repeat our mistakes. It's not an impossible dream. It is within our grasp if we work tirelessly and stop at nothing to achieve it. We can't stop life from ending. But if you will help me, help Gaia, we can give it a future. Join me and help make that future real.
The whole Earth destroyed, but then remade?
Yes. By a machine. A machine of creation.
Elizabeth did this. For life. For us. But why Hades then? If it was part of Gaia, how did it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh robot? And why does it want to kill me? And Apollo, the archive of knowledge, what happened to that?
I'm as confused as you are. Maybe the answers lie ahead.
Alright, so we know a good part of the backstory now. But we still have more questions. So obviously not everything went perfectly. Make your selection. You're now in possession of information regarding the true nature and purposes of Project Zero Dawn, classified far above top secret. As such, we regret that you cannot be allowed to leave this facility. There are 3 options available to you at this time. Please consider each carefully. Excuse me. Trained counselors are standing by to assist you in making your choice. Choice 1 is participation. You'll be assigned to a sub-project team based on your area of expertise. You should be aware that the way forward will be difficult and the project's outcome is uncertain. You'll be expected to work a minimum of 80 hours per week, and your communications with family members will be strictly limited and monitored in real time. Upon successful completion of the project, you and your immediate family, or 2 persons of your choosing, will be transferred to the Elysium sealed habitat to live out the remainder of your natural lives. 2. Indefinite detention. Should you choose to decline participation in Project Zero Dawn, you will be confined indefinitely. You'll be given 48 hours to reconsider, after which your decision to refuse participation will be considered irrevocable. Every reasonable effort will be made to make your term confinement as comfortable as possible, but you will not be permitted contact with the outside world, and death within 18 months due to the Pharaoh Plague is inevitable. When the Zero Dawn facility is abandoned, detainees who wish not to opt for medical euthanasia will be released. That doesn't sound very promising. You'll be released basically when the facility is destroyed, or when the Earth is destroyed. Medical euthanasia. The information you've just received unnecessarily calls into question the purpose of continuing on to live. If you would prefer to end your life at this point, pain-free medical euthanasia is available. 48-hour waiting period is required, during which time you may instead opt for participation or confinement. Please notify a counselor when you're ready to make your choice, or if you have further questions. Pretty grim either way. That's what I just read. So another interview. Brad Andek, decision interview, formerly Faro Automated Systems, data corruption partial. Let's see what he has to say.
Of course I'll do it. To be given the opportunity to rebuild what the damage that I don't feel worthy of it, but I will do it, absolutely.
I want to stress that this was never about your culpability.
It is to me. Dr. Sobek, Margot, they were smart to get out of Faro when they did, but not one of us took it as a warning sign. It just told ourselves that we're cut out for the BTRI cabals. That's the better than rapid innovation. A better at competing, better than the next guy, a better killing machine. It's just amazing how a century and a half of science fiction did nothing to swerve our species from the path of doom. I mean, I'm done with that life. I mean, I will work hard, twice as hard, to earn this, for my family to have a place in Elysium. I never thought that there could be atonement.
Some healing herbs here.
I'll find a use for you.
Bunker door. I'm not going to go through the bunker door just yet. I had a feeling that turnstile. I had a feeling there's more data points sitting back here somewhere. Interview 2, Susan Alpert, voice recording, environmental reclamation. Let's see what she had to say.
If you're still nauseous.
No, the inhibitors have kicked in. I can't feel the back of my tongue. I wish I could tell you I'd believe in this. But the damage is too great, too extensive, too complete. With all respect to Dr. Sobek's work at Miriam, no. No. Life doesn't always find a way to keep going. Sometimes it never comes back. Like Syzygy East. Like the Congo. Like Timor. Like us. That's our reward? A buried city full of terminal patients waiting out the clock?
You grow old together, with your loved ones, in safety.
I don't have loved ones. I suppose I could start a family?
I'm afraid not. All inhabitants of Elysium will be medically sterilized. A habitat capable of sustaining a starting base of 2,000 individuals for up to 100 years is a huge challenge, Dr. Alpert. If the population grows instead of diminishes, everyone will be dead inside 30 years.
I knew it. I just couldn't bring myself to say the words.
I'm sorry?
Finish it. Medical euthanasia. I want no part of this. I just want it over.
I see. Protocols require a 48-hour waiting period, after which...
So she asked for the way out. Ron Felder, we heard something from him before. He's aerospace engineering. find this one interesting because I used to work with somebody whose last name was Felder.
Is he to make sure I behave this time?
Security, for your protection. Would you like to discuss how you're feeling?
Sure. I'll tell you. Surprised. No, flabbergasted. Like my old man would say, flabbergasted. That vein pumping in his forehead. I thought you people were just completely underprepared for a spaceflight project. But now I can see it's worse. Much worse. Sobek is a total fantasist, a dangerous fantasist. He's kind of blue skying. It's... Jesus. I'm sorry we wasted each other's time. I'm ready to leave now.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
Everything you're talking about here isn't possible.
I recommend you read the documents regarding your options.
I've seen enough. I'm getting out of here. What did you... You don't... Get your hands off me!
He chose imprisonment. Oh, there's more back here.
Alert. Medical wing inaccessible. Standard shackles. What the heck is that? Stranded shackles. Shackles made from an unknown smooth material. Look at the map. Make sure I remember where I am. I guess this is the inaccessible medical wing over here. Back in the right direction. Go back to that other door. Thousand-year-old couch.
Intruder!
Get her!
Goodbye,
Whatever you
quiet
do,
approach.
don't die now.
Figure out a way to not die. The other alternative is to go back and see if I can grab that heavy weapon. Counselor guidelines. Selected by their skill. Free participation is an opportunity. It's a question of the fairness, blah, blah, blah. Morality questions. Plausibility. That's restated. Yeah, there it is. I got surprised.
Should give me the upper hand.
Now I've got a fire striker. Now we're gonna have me some fun. Oops, not good. Alright, that was not a good plan. Alright, standing and delivering was not a good plan. Alright, I'm gonna go back to sniping these guys with arrows, I think. Oops.
Intruder! Get her!
Whatever you do, don't die now.
Oops. that instruction again? Don't die now. Missing now. No, that's not gonna work.
The word of Shadow.
This is not fun. These guys really have me. Not really gonna break until I kill at least one of them. Let's see them.
Let this strike a guide this through the heart.
Nobody's smart, they're just standing there. So if they come after me, I can ambush them.
You've prevented.
Can't keep taking hits though. Alright, I got a good hit on that guy that time. I think I got both arrows on him.
Let this pierce my soul. This is not a war.
Alright, 2 beams on him. That wasn't worth it. Stay down.
Grant me victory.
Open the door. The idea is don't get shot.
This is not a warning.
Come on, die. Ah, oh, not dead yet.
Grant me victory!
One guy down. Alright. See if I can pull this out. Ooh, that wasn't bad. Oh, here we go. I think I got him.
I can't spare the weight.
Before I get in more trouble. Come over here and excuse me. Check into my inventory. So now let's check what resources I have on me. Machine cores, weapon coils. Sure, I have enough resources to make, keep making ammo. There's another data point in here. And health supplies. Long log Tom Page.
I hashed it out with them, what the point of Artemis was. I made it clear I wasn't on board for a global zoo. We haven't exactly proved ourselves to be great custodians in the past few thousand years. So the idea of a reconstituted biosphere, well, it's horrifying, isn't it? A complete horror show. We have no right to take a best guess at this stuff. But the alternative? Nothingness. For there to have been all this, and then nothing. And with Charles Ronson running the show, I respect him. He's got a passion to him. He's hot-blooded. So I said I'll do it. I'll put my all into this, literally. When the project is done, I'll take the medical option, thank you. Counselor said I might change my mind. I told him that he didn't know me very well then. For life's sake, I'll do the dirty work. But I want no part of this pathetic, attenuated future on offer. I'm an outdoors man. Never did like the feel of solid-state lighting on my skin. And a wee bit of a claustrophobe, anyway.
Bunks. Some more medical supplies up here.
Power's down.
Is there another route?
I've done this before. Just need my focus. Should have brought a cart.
Travis Tate. Oh, this was the data security consultant, quote unquote.
Now, those lame FBI black hats at Mockingbird back in the day, I enjoyed schooling them. But maybe I went in too hard on this poor counselor. She was cute, and just going down a checklist after all. Couldn't expect her to see how ridiculous Zero D's ambitions are. God's own budget thrown at a kid playing with a hologram sculptor? Palms up, honey. I'm just calling it like it is. Hey, look, Mom, I'm making nature. Now, if nature is so important, why not let nature take its course? Extinction? That's natural. Zero Dawn? No, ma'am, that ain't. Heck, it's so unnatural to be called an abomination back home, and you know it. That's why you're hiding it. Meanwhile, my little honey of a counselor, she's munching the inside of her cheek. Bad habit. She chewed one of her nails, too, just one. Not your day, was it, little sweet pea? Saw her quota slipping away. Said, I assume you intend to decline the assignment, Mr. Tate. You kidding me? 18 months hard labor in exchange for 30 years lounging around Elysium watching porn? Sign me up.
All right. Christina Suve.
Zero Dawn. It is art, in a way. An expression on the grandest scale. But there is so much unfairness. Why was I chosen? Was it decided by committee? By algorithm? My family will be saved because I happen to graduate in art history? Is this right?
Dr. Suve? Christina Suve?
Yes. I met a man, another historian. His fields are Bauhaus and the New Materialists. But he once attended one of my talks. Another unfair chance. Of all the many people in that auditorium, that we should both be here now. And yet, I feel more accepting of my fate. No, it is not fair. Not at all. But for the sake of my family, for the sake of art. Art is alive. It must be able to speak from beyond history and echo in the future, not perish into oblivion. This opportunity, I must do this.
now let's get back to the problem of the door. This door is an issue. There's no power.
Here we go. Another one of these. Need to find the right configuration.
It's Faro Tech. Secure encryption port with holographic display. Data shows required settings for nearby hololocks. Two, three, four, five.
Done. I should check the door nearby.
Okay, that's a deadlock. I got more stuff back here.
Hey, I'm done with Brett's incompetence, okay? Somehow, he managed to install an H-emitter node backwards. Everything's in reverse. I don't get paid to clean up Brett's messes. If you want it fixed, send him up to storage for a new emitter, not me. Parker out. Hey, I'm done with Brett's incompetence, okay? Somehow, he managed to install an H-emitter node backwards. Everything's in reverse. I don't get paid to clean up Brett's messes. If you want it fixed, send him up to storage for a new emitter, not me. Parker out.
Okay, something was installed backwards. So check the...
There's a part missing. Maybe there's a storage area nearby.
I'm supposed to go back and check the door. Oops. Did I do something in the wrong order here? go through that door into the storage area. There's just a ladder up there. Nothing hiding back here. Emitter.
Found one. Looks intact.
Oh, look. Tightrope. More supplies. Anything else up here? Nope.
That should do the trick. Now let's get that door open.
That's up. Up, left, down, right, up. Oh, I see what it is. It's... Oh, this whole panel is upside down. That's up, left, that's down. Down, left, up. Right and down.
That did it. Door should have power.
Now to see what lies beyond it.
Eclipse. They're here.
Avoid contact.
Lines look good.
Gaia. It's up there. Second floor.
Can you reach it?
So much for avoiding contact.
I'll do what I must for the shadow, but I don't like it.
Got a killer out there.
Let me do it the hard way.
Farewell, fool. You see anything? Farewell. Around here somewhere. This'll go a lot faster if you just come out.
That's the last of it. Or not.
She's here. The shadow will reach you.
stairwells have collapsed.
Keep looking.
Room's clear. For a moment, anyway.
Then get moving. You have to find Gaia.
Alert. Structural failure prevents access.
Well, that combat actually went okay. Didn't have too much trouble with it. Didn't go through too much in the way of healing supplies.
Forget about traveling light.
Holo projector.
Hello, I'm Margot Shen, and this is Hephaestus.
Wow.
As the name might tip you off, this is going to be the subordinate function that Gaia will use to make lots and lots of robots. Her personal forge. Except, it's not that simple. You probably noticed that only about a third of you are robotics engineers. The rest, experts in machine cognition, virtual heuristics, that stuff. Well, that's because we aren't going to be the ones designing and building robots. The last thing we want is to burden Gaia with a bunch of outmoded 21st century designs. Waste of time. Our purpose is to empower Gaia to build the robots. And not just build, imagine, from scratch. Any robot she needs for any conceivable purpose, designed and fabricated at a snap of a finger. Hers. Her finger. So, Hephaestus isn't really the forge. It's more like the knowledge of craft and ingenuity of a mastersmith to wield the hammer. Encoded as software. Virtual creativity made real. Gaia's already learning. In simulations, she's doing some very creative things with fractal assembly and animal morphologies. Her designs aren't about to win the Liam Prize anytime soon, but hey, everyone has to start somewhere. So, yes, time to get started. Let's do this.
I don't get it.
Which part? It's a little technical at places.
If Gaia was designed to save life, why would the robots it makes attack people?
Perhaps it loves some forms of life more than others.
The derangement. The machines weren't always so angry.
True. Mostly they were docile until 10, 15 years ago.
For years, Hephaestus has been forcing cauldrons to make aggressive machines. I've seen it myself, in the cauldrons. Stalkers, Ravagers, the Thunderjaw. How could it do that? And why?
Why indeed?
Let's see, data point from Elizabeth Sobek. This should be interesting. Margot, if I doubted your brilliance in the slightest, I wouldn't have picked you as Hephaestus Alpha. You need to stop worrying about your age and communication style. You are who you are. Have confidence in yourself. You know what you're doing. Case in point, latest draft of your plan for the construction and stocking of bootstrap silos to store raw materials is excellent. This combined with your design of the AM Foundry core and the Foundry site selection plan add up to a comprehensive plan. It's time to start construction. One detail, consult with Aamite Okelio before you finalize the silo inventories. Hephaestus' first task will be to fabricate the robots that will construct the waveform broadcast towers Minerva will use to transmit the deactivation codes. So any exotic materials needed for the towers should be accounted for in the inventory plan. I'm betting that that spire outside of Meridian is one of those towers.
I've seen these shapes before. In cauldrons.
But of course, the birthing places of Gaia's machines.
Find the entrance to Sobek's office. Stairs up. Let's see, anything special here, just boxes. And we'll go up the stairs. Zero Dawn was a pretty grim thing. They basically resigned to humanity dying off, so they designed a system that could reconstruct the ecosystem from the ashes and deactivate the aggressive or deactivated the marauding robot swarms that were destroying the planet. And then they were reseeding the planet with new life, clones probably. And somehow I'm an Elizabeth Sobek clone. There's 3 levels to this thing. Okay, so I'm on the right track. Those guys really were snipers. They held back like a good sniper should.
I think this is it. Elizabeth Sobek's office. But it's sealed off. There's got to be a way inside.
Keep looking. All of this lost. The Ancients' greatest gift to us.
Greatest? How about the fact we exist at all? More Eclipse.
Careful now.
of this too.
Oops. I guess I can't go through there. So I can tag all these guys. Yeah, I just walked through a whole room full. Oh, I gotta go down the steps. Apollo update. Let's read this one while I got the chance. Samina Abdaji. Over the past 2 months, the full benefit of our procurement of a copy of the Homer archive from Far Zenith has made itself known, and as a result, all of Apollo's key deliverables are on schedule. Apollo has already surpassed 40 million discrete data entries and continues to grow. The physical science modules are effectively complete, with soft science modules close behind. World history, cultural data, and media archives are also on schedule. Language preservation is wrapping up a bit ahead of schedule due to falling short of our goal to preserve 4,500 languages. I suppose the tragic early loss of Papua New Guinea doomed that goal from the outset, with attendant curricula development about to begin. Speaking of heuristic curricula, they are performing well in testing, with children and adolescents demonstrating high levels of engagement with and trust in the Aristotle and Aphasia personae. Personally, I find them highly engaging, especially when they debate. I wish half of my professors had been so entertaining. So there was some sort of education program built too.
Welcome to Apollo, the collective memory of the human species and the wellspring of knowledge for future generations. I am Samina Elbaji. Until recently, I was director of the International Collective Memory Institute in New Tehran. As a heritage professional, I devoted my career to the preservation of human knowledge, creative endeavor, and cultural achievement. Apollo is, therefore, the ultimate embodiment of a lifelong passion, albeit under the very worst circumstances imaginable. The challenges before us are immense. Specifically, We will have to design and implement 4 major initiatives simultaneously. First, the construction of data repositories in cradle facilities around the world, ensuring redundancy. Second, the collection and processing of a projected 180 million discrete data entries. 42 zettabytes of data in Mandarin, English, Spanish, and Arabic. Third, the transferal and encoding of all that data onto DNA encapsulated in synthetic fossils.
What?
The only medium capacious and durable enough to safeguard it without degradation for the centuries to come.
Huh.
And last, but not least, the development of the holographic interface and gamified curricula, by which future humans will commune with Apollo, progressively unlocking heuristic learning modules, leveling up their knowledge and skills they will need to take control of the terraforming system. That is the future towards which all of our efforts will be directed. Not just the preservation of the past, but the seed for the flourishing of a new tree of knowledge. Welcome, and let us begin.
So that's where things went wrong. We had humans built. We had animals and humans come back, but we never assumed control of the terraforming system. Somehow we got the language, but we didn't get the full knowledge dump. It's an Apollo update. I'm going to read this through the wall. Over the past 2 months, full benefit of our procurement of a copy of the Homer archive from Farzine has made itself known as a result of the schedule apologies. Oh, this is the one I already read. What about this one? It's another Counselor Gallines. Oh, I think there was one up here that I missed, maybe. Encapsulated DNA, okay. And the winner is Encapsulated DNA. Over the past 10 days, I've performed an exhaustive review of data storage solutions, magnetic, optical, quantum, even that Eternity tech that Pharaoh was shilling a year or so ago, but every other solution has more and more fatal shortcomings, too heavy to transport, too massive to install in the allotted space, too power intensive over the centuries, and too prone to failure past 300 or 400 years. Encapsulated DNA will easily hold the 40 plus zettabytes we're projecting for Apollo. There are still many details to finalize, of course. To start with, we need to select the inert material in which we'll embed the molecules, already testing 16 candidate materials, as well as the design and fabricate the power systems and sealed reliquaries that will keep the DNA at minus 18 degrees for 1,000 plus years. So long as I assure you that it didn't factor into my decision, may I confess that I deem it entirely fitting, indeed propitious, that we will be using the very building blocks of life to preserve human knowledge from mechanized extinction. It's not just ironic, but heroic. Life is the hero beating back the forces of oblivion. In any case, much to do, but until next time, peace be with you. So this archive was encoded in DNA somehow. Oops.
cash you in that way. Last of them. Alone once more.
In what should have been a cave of wonders.
I kind of like the Deathbringer gun, so... Apollo was astonished. Dionysius thought me mad. Sorry, I'm quoting other sources. That have nothing to do with this game. So now we know what Zero Dawn was supposed to do. Now we know something went wrong. Everything is decidedly not restored. Guess it was deemed to be unfair if I could shoot between the slats of those walkways up there. Oh, there's a ladder up here. There's an easy way up, of course, that I missed. Looks like this is the office. Here I come carrying a big old gun. Lots of data points here.
Welcome to Hades. Zero Dawn's Extinction Failsafe Protocol. The ultimate killer app.
Oh.
Now, I know what you're thinking. The purpose of Gaia is to resurrect life.
This is the
So why
Matthew
give her a
McConaughey
subordinate
guy.
function, only purpose of which is to wipe out life all over again? I mean, what? Just plumb crazy, ain't it? Well, no, it isn't. Reconstituting a biosphere? That's a tall order. Tech smart as Gaia may be, odds are she won't get it right the first time. Imagine your Gaia 200 years from now, and this new biosphere growing, it's all gone wrong. Alkalines are skyrocketing, coniferous forests eroding under the lash of superstorms that would have drowned Noah. It's chaos. A spinning top that won't stop wobbling. Now what are you gonna do? Release phase 1 organisms into that hot mess? Hope their CO2 and methane can balance out what you got started? Hell no. What you're gonna do, Gaia, is step aside while Hades takes over and does what you're just too darn nurturing and life-loving to do, which is burn that misbegotten mess of a biosphere to the ground so Gaia can start over. Okay, not burn, more like reverse terraforming operations and suffocate it. But you get the idea. Hades takes the biosphere back to zero. Square one, blank slate. And then, only then, does it hand the steering wheel back to Gaia and say, try again, old girl.
Starting to get a picture of what went wrong.
We'll have to do this again. That's Hades. It's pretty badass when you think about it. Extinction on demand. Death on speed dial. All for the greater good, of course, but still, kind of metal. So welcome to Hades. Welcome to the void.
Okay, so if that's the original purpose of Hades, why does it want me extinct?
We need more data.
And how does it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh Titan, getting worshipped by the Eclipse like some kind of god?
I'm learning as you are, Aloy. Keep searching.
Text mail from Travis Tate about noise complaints. Whoops. Travis Tate to Sobek. Colory confounded Lizzie. Bashkor, anyone who says the old TT codes to Bashkor is straight up lying. And you know it. Old Trav does not have no truck with commercialized razzle dazz. None. Heck, I'd rather guzzle leader as the term than run off than listen to Grey swarm for 30 seconds. And hand to God and swear on my mama's grave that she was religious. No, that ain't Bashkor Bless in the Hades lab, shaking the walls, rattling folks' teeth. It's death metal, girl. Classical music, 80s and 90s mostly. Get me some Dutch deathcore, some Japanese gore grinds, some Swedish cannibal-themed stuff too. Stop by if you want to listen, or heck, just come within 50 meters of the lab. Ain't no Bashkor you'll see, or hear rather, in the screech that and feeling the throbbing pulse of the floor and walls and ceiling swallowing you up like he was Jonah trapped in the gullet of gothic deathfish. Hallelujah. As for the request to turn it down, no can do. This is how I code. Turn down my death metal, might as well give up stimulants, chocolate malts, industrial accident fids. Last I heard, we were supposed to be coding Hades down here. Am I really supposed to code Extinction Protocol without death metal? Alright, Travis is kind of hardcore. So I'm getting a little bit more picture of what went wrong. He may have coded things too well. So he doesn't seem like the type of guy who does bad code. Hades Protocol. Either that or the or the Eclipse poked around and came across Hades and just messed with it. One way or the other, it seems like the Gaia Protocol didn't go all the way through and the Hades Protocol is attempting to run, even though they've already populated the world with people. Alright. Tate here, just popped 3 blues, but I earned it. Finally figured out a Goldilocks solution to Gaia's rather extreme exclusive authority. If that ain't worth 10 to 12 hours of dream time, what is? Before this, every usurpation protocol I designed failed in simulation. This was either too hard or too soft. Too hard and it degraded the Gaia core. Sure, it pried her figurative fingers off the figurative driving wheel so Hades could take control, but by breaking her fingers, sometimes her arms too. So that couldn't fly. Everything depends on Gaia taking control back after Hades has done its business, so it had to find a solution that didn't leave Gaia any worse for the wear. Too soft and Gaia only pretended till it relinquished control, and simulation after simulation, Hades would take command of the terraforming system and reverse their operations, only to have Gaia lurk in the background, quietly reversing processes and falsifying telemetry to hide its interference. Sneaky, I swear. Ain't nothing Gaia wouldn't do to keep life going, even when it's just simulated plant life. Turns out the just right solution is to isolate Gaia in a protective code shell, preserving its integrity, then unseat it from the command position so Hades can slip into the figurative captain's chair and work its magic. Those blues are coming on pretty strong now, so I'm not really describing it so clear, but pretty sure it'll work. And the effects of the drugs take over, so... So Hades isolates Gaia and unseats it, so to speak. So I wonder if that's what happened 10 or so years ago when the machines turned. Hades is really the dark side of Project Zero Dawn. Archive abuse. This mail concerns Apollo Archive submission number blah blah blah, your 666 submission in just 5 days, and oh what a doozy. Despite earlier warnings regarding inappropriate materials, you chose to submit 265 holographic remasters of acknowledged classics of extreme exploitation cinema. Allow me then to thank you on 2 counts for giving me the pleasure of rejecting your submission, thereby consigning your favorite Eastern European torture flicks to their ilk to the dust heap of oblivion. It truly warms my heart to know that I've saved future humanity from the ordeal of experiencing not just one, but all 16 installments of making a millipede. Don't worry, the Pasolini material has already been preserved. Extreme crafts, but art. For a clarifying concept that is so long been ambiguous and ethically fraught for archivists such as myself, the definition of obscenity, you have freed me from the subjective quagmire embodied in Judge Potter's famous utterance, "I know it when I see it." Thanks to you, I can now apply a single objective criterion. If Travis Tate submitted it, it's obscene. Accordingly, I have directed Apollo staff to summarily reject all of your future submissions sight unseen. Perhaps you might invest the time that you would have spent preparing for further submissions on, oh, I don't know, your assigned work. You have a world to save after all, or the rest of us do anyway. So if we treat these people as if they are a pantheon of gods, which they kind of are considering the names of their various projects, he's the devil. And he does sound a lot like Matthew McConaughey. Let's just check where I am.
Looks like the only way onwards. Are these what I think they are?
Artificial wombs. Machine to spawn a new generation of human beings.
FZ chambers. Oh, that's a data point down there. Oops, missed it. Patrick Bouchard Klein. The ectogenic chambers arrived 2 days ago. I've spent the last 36 hours examining them and poring over their technical documentation. They're a revelation astonishing. I don't know what you had to give Far Zenith in trade to get these chambers, but it was worth it. In a single leap, their embryologists have vaulted past 50 years of technological shortcomings. The risks of ECMO resolved, nutrition delivery resolved, hormonal stability resolved, 12 other risk areas resolved. Before I examined these chambers, I considered the Odyssey to be a fool's errand. Excuse me. But if the rest of FZ's technology is at this level, well, a human colony around Sirius doesn't seem so impossible after all. Mass fabrication of the chambers will present a number of challenges, but I'm confident they can be resolved. I'm going to rest a few hours. Excuse me. Then get back to it. Expect a fabrication plan within 48 hours. PBK.
Welcome to Eleuthia, the crown and king of Gaia's subordinate functions. For it is by Eleuthia that the human race will continue to exist. I am Patrick Bouchard Klein, the Alpha in charge of this program. Now let one thing be perfectly clear from the outset. Eleuthia is not a genetic engineering project. Our goal is to preserve the human genome, not alter it. A snapshot of human genetic diversity, literally frozen in time. The genetic quintessence of our species, unmodified. Under my watch, our activities and initiatives will comply with the 2034 clone provisions and the 2048 Rally Accords. Now that may seem a quaint, even trivial concern to you in light of present circumstances, but as one of the authors of the Accords, it is far from trivial to me. The practical challenges before us are staggering in scope and complexity, but not insurmountable. No. Global collation and provisional storage of zygotes, perfection of exogenic technologies, design and perfection of servitors, to provide nurture and inculcation during early child development. All of these program components must and will proceed in tandem. To say nothing of the breakneck construction of cradle facilities at sites around the world. So, si vous êtes prêts, let us begin.
Lots of data points around here. Let's see, PBK. Cradle Servitor Personae. Development of the artificial personae for Cradle Servitors, Nurturer, Disciplinarian, Healer, Continues at a good pace. We are targeting Turing point 4 for these constructs. That should allow low-grade empathy and limited improvisation without undermining adherence to codified behavior sets. The stimulus-driven switching of persona, however, is proving to be a greater software challenge than anticipating, especially concerning on the entrenched feedback loops between the disciplinarian and healer persona. I've also attached reports from an incident where a servitor running the mother persona intervened on a disciplinarian servitor's behavior, a parental argument, if you will. Amusing on first glance, perhaps, but deeply concerning. Attach a comprehensive plan for correcting these interactive protocol shortcomings in just... and that's where it ends. So they're working on artificial intelligence routines to basically raise these embryos they were planning on using to repopulate the Earth.
I can always use these.
Supplies. Another data point. Luthia 01 was successfully sealed before the swarm advancing across the Xinjiang province could detect it. Ping back from crucial systems is good for our maiden voyage of success. Regards my dispute with the betas over zygote selection, of course I understand we have limited overhead to run simulations of gene flow in our future humans, but we can all agree there is a margin of refinement in future cradle populations. Excuse me. In addition to personally overseeing completion of the Eleuthia 2 site inside Mount Namuli, I will formulate and propose a modified zygote selection plan within the week. Alright, so one is in China, one is wherever Mount Namuli is. Not sure where that is. Here I am in the cradle of life carrying a weapon of mass destruction. Obviously, as a person from a technological society, I understand a lot of this stuff better than Aloy will. Okay, I gotta go to those stairs over there. Let's make sure I've explored everything here. That's a door that's never gonna open. Not sure what that is.
Cradle facilities. Elizabeth said a new generation of humans would be spawned inside such places.
She did.
All Mother Mountain. It was one of them?
There's only one way to be sure.
The hatch wouldn't open. Something about a corrupted Alpha registry. I need to search Elizabeth's office.
Stand there with a big old machine gun. Alright, I don't think I can carry this machine gun anymore. So about another 1,000 years when they come here and try and figure out what the heck went on, they're going to find a massive machine gun sitting in this place. Close. Go down this side route. What is this?
Looks like it used to hold something. Some component that got removed.
Nuts would benefit from antilopinae morphologies, though caprid forms show superior load-bearing capability.
You're a quick study, Gaia.
Dr. Sobek, as I have conducted this comparative analysis of mammalian morphologies, I've gathered extensive data on the quaternary extinction event.
Oh? And your assessment? Gaia?
Logically speaking, the extinction was a natural consequence.
And yet,
I find the loss of megafaunal species unaccountably sad. That they passed forever into oblivion causes me to experience a grief that is difficult to describe. Am I malfunctioning?
No, Gaia, you're not. This is good. It's very good.
Nuts would benefit from antilopinae morphologies, though caprid forms show superior load-bearing capability.
You're a quick study, Gaia.
Dr. Sobek, as I have conducted this comparative analysis of mammalian morphologies, I've gathered extensive data on the quaternary extinction event.
Oh? And your assessment? Gaia?
Logically speaking, the extinction was a natural consequence.
And yet,
I find the loss of megafaunal species unaccountably sad. That they passed forever into oblivion causes me to experience a grief that is difficult to describe. Am I malfunctioning?
No, Gaia, you're not. This is good. It's very good. You will undergo a brief period of unconsciousness during relocation to Prime and final instatement.
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
When you're back up and running at the new site, we'll bring the subordinate functions online and see where we stand.
Elizabeth, I detect distress. Are you all right?
I'm fine.
I realize that circumstances compel us to launch earlier than we hoped, but all subsystems are operational. The odds stand in our favor.
But what if... Gaia, there's nothing left out there. You can't even survive unless you're wearing an environmental suit. There are billions dead, in fear and agony. What if it was all for nothing?
Elizabeth, extinction was inevitable. Thanks to you, life will have a future.
You really believe that?
I believe in you, Elizabeth. In you, all things.
Got too much already.
Alright, a supply crate. Let's see this data point first. Odyssey has failed. So terrible news, I'm afraid. Far Zenith has informed me that the Odyssey mission has failed. Last night, telemetry indicated a catastrophic antimatter containment failure as the drive spun up to depart the solar system. The ship, its crew, its cargo of Zygotes and Seed, its alpha build of Apollo were lost. Zero Dawn is now the only hope for the continuation of the human species and earthly life. We must succeed. So it seems like they were sending a ship out to try and colonize another star system and try to reseed life on Earth. So they were hedging their bets, but the ship blew up. So we'll see how that plays out. Hang on one second before I do the big reveal. I'm gonna just put you on hold for a second and be right back. Alright, so let's try and do this now. This should be one of the bigger reveals. I get the feeling that I missed at least one data point somewhere along the way, but I guess we'll figure that out. Worst comes to worst, can always look it up online and read through them all. Anyway. Anything over there? Just want to make sure that everything's done. Now examine her terminal.
The Alpha Registry master file.
Intact?
Yeah. No signs of corruption.
Then what are you waiting for? Copy the file.
With this, I can restore the registry at the hatch inside Allmother. Open it. Go inside.
And grasp the secrets within.
Where I was born. Maybe who gave birth to me.
Who? Are you really so naive? There will be no who waiting for you there, Aloy. Whatever birthed you into the world was a what, not a who.
You bastard.
Oh no, I had a legitimate birth. It's you, Aloy, who are the creation of a machine. But what kind of machine and why? Why were you created?
Uh-oh.
Eclipse.
You need to get out of there. What you found is too valuable. You're too valuable.
Uh-oh.
Still alive. Good. I have a more suitable death in
That
mind
psychopath.
for you, child.
Oh, not good.
My entire life, I've always known one thing with prophetic certainty. That I was destined for glory as a great champion of the sun. Even when Jiran was murdered, even when Meridian fell, I never doubted my destiny. Until you came along. When I heard that you had survived, a doubt took root in my mind. As sure as the sun rises and falls each day, those I am bade to kill die. And yet I failed. How? Why? With each dig site you attacked, each loyal soldier you killed, this pestering doubt grew. I kept thinking of the moment my knife pierced your throat. One twist, a simple tug of the blade, and you would have bled out. In slaughter, I am a practiced hand. So why hesitate? Why fail my destined purpose?
See that scar on your cheek? You didn't get to finish.
Yes, I remember. He fought well. For a savage.
His name was Rost, and he was a better man than you could ever hope to be.
The better man is the one who doesn't end up with his guts steaming on the ground. No, it wasn't him. I could have finished you before he attacked. But I didn't. This failing troubled my thoughts, haunted every step. It was only when I captured you, down in that place, that I finally glimpsed the sun's design etched at length across the course of events. You were meant to survive that day on the mountain. Meant to interfere at dig sites and kill my men. Conversely, I was meant to capture you. Here. So that you might die as a sacrificial offering to the sun. Everything as it was meant to be. Predestined and preordained.
some destiny. You're following orders, not some grand cosmic design. You're a puppet, with Hades yanking the strings. A pawn pushed around by larger forces. It'd be laughable if there weren't so much killing involved. Hades is an ancient machine, not the buried shadow of Karja myth. It doesn't care about Meridian. It wants to kill everything and everyone. And you are its dutiful slave.
I serve not the buried shadow, but the sun in shadow. All halves of nature joined to one cause. Shadow to sun, dark to light.
Do you really not hear how ridiculous that sounds? You've gone from serving an insane homicidal Sun King to an insane homicidal machine. You're moving down in the world, not up.
I'll remember those words as I watch your corpse burn. Whatever's left of it. You fail to grasp the point. As surely as you've been conquered, so has all doubt. And with certainty of belief comes unstoppable force.
Then close the cage and put your faith to the test. See if things work out like you expect.
The circle has closed. Every element is in its proper place, exactly where it belongs. The errant beast, now caged, will serve her true purpose. A sacrificial animal. Oh, speaking of sacrifice, I forgot to tell you. After you crashed the Eclipse network, I sent messengers into the east to rally the forces there and mount an invasion of the sacred land. I ordered every Nora killed. I was hoping to catch you there, but alas, it all seems to have been unnecessary.
Why butcher dozens of innocents for no gain? It's a waste of effort.
You're right. I won't even be there to enjoy it. In any case, I couldn't recall the order even if I wished to. Thanks to your destruction of the network, communication over distances is impossible. You not only doomed yourself, but an entire tribe. Do we not see the scorching judgment of the sun in these events? Your focus. Such a powerful device, isn't it? And yet, so fragile. So you see, this time, I did not hesitate. The knife has already been twisted.
Uh-oh.
Karja faithful, rejoice! Our years in shadow are over. A new dawn trembles on the horizon. A new day, soon to break. And when it does, the false Sun King will be dead, and Holy Meridian ours once more. In this, I have become an instrument of prophecy. All halves of nature join to one cause. Shadow to sun, light to dark, night to day. Behold!
Oh boy.
Hold your seats! Can you not see the proof of the sun's blessing before your eyes? How else could shadows such as these prowl in broad light of day? Were they not approved by the sun and joined to our cause? Many years ago, to consecrate this great ring, the Radiant Turan ordered many faithless crushed beneath the hooves of the behemoth. Mighty is the behemoth in the eye of the sun, but it is mightier still, infused with the power of shadow. Let this one, who schemed and slithered, be the first to die! Let her be the first of thousands!
This is bad. No equipment. And a corrupted behemoth.
I'll never beat that thing without weapons. My weapons are up on the platform. There's no way out of this ring. Maybe I could use the strength against it. Getting ready to charge. That pillar's weak. Another hit, and that pillar will come down. Gotta get out of the way. The walls look strong, but the pillars don't. They weren't built to take a charge from a crazed behemoth. Luring the behemoth into the pillars.
Oh! Not very easy, is it?
Hey! Guess who got her weapons back? Now you're just a big dumb target. Come and get it! Those components on the sides of its head. They've got something to do with its lift attacks. Canister on its belly. Looks important. Maybe those carcasses have parts I can use.
Coming close. Very difficult battle. Very, very difficult.
Hey! Guess who got her weapons back? Now you're just a big, dumb target. Come and get it! That canister on its belly. Looks important. Those components on the sides of its head. They've got something to do with the smoke attacks. Freeze canister on its hips. Quiet area should clear. Gotta check the machine carcasses. They might have hands.
Oh, it was so close.
Hey! Guess who got her weapons back? Now you're just a big dumb target. Come and get it! Maybe those carcasses have parts I can use. Those components on the sides of its head. They've got something to do with its lift attacks. That canister on its belly. This is important.
This is very tough.
Hey! Guess who got her weapons back? Now you're just a big dumb target. Come and get it! Those components on the sides of its head. They've got something to do with its lift attacks. That canister on its belly. Looks important.
Got it.
Silence! Shadows. Kill her.
Oh, jeez. Correct. Two corruptors in the open. This is gonna be
Kill her!
Why leave it to them? Come get me yourself!
Did I just get out of it alive? He was really hard to beat.
So you're here. Really here. You risked your life.
Of course I did. If you'd been killed, the Nora's sacred mountain would never have given up its secrets.
Too bad you wasted your time, then. Helis destroyed my focus. And the Alpha Registry with it.
Not at all. The whole time I've been monitoring your focus, I duplicated every data file you scanned. Installing that data to a new focus was trivially easy. Happy birthday, Isaac. Daddy sure does love his little big man.
You're really good at making it impossible to like you, Silence. But I guess I need this.
It's time to see where you were born. Maybe you'll even learn why.
Yeah. Meet the machine that birthed me into this world. Isn't that how you put it?
I'll be off.
Wait.
Yes?
Helis recognized you back in the Sun Ring. You told me that you'd assisted the Eclipse. Not that you knew the man who killed my... who almost killed me.
So now you know. The man is a serious threat. So let's do all we can to make sure that he and Hades don't succeed.
Right. Since when can you override machines?
Ever since you discovered the technique. I had to destroy a corruptor to obtain the necessary parts, of course. But your example showed me how to do that as well. Yet another benefit of monitoring your activities through your focus. Truth be told, the underlying logic of the technique isn't so different from rites practiced by Banuk shamans. Though, of course, far more advanced.
Great. You're welcome, I guess. How did you track my location when I wasn't wearing a focus?
Really, Aloy? It doesn't take a genius to surmise that Helis would throw you into the Sun Ring at high noon. I wore out 2 striders getting here in time, but I did. Now be on your way.
I'll be on my way. To make matters worse, Helis ordered an Eclipse detachment to attack the Nora Sacred Land. The tribe's already weak. They won't stand a chance. You should come with me.
Well, absolutely not. I have preparations to make elsewhere.
What kind of... Why do I bother asking? You're not gonna tell me.
When the time is right, I'll be in touch. I'll contact you later. In the meantime, should you need to return to Shadow Carja territory, I brought armor to conceal your identity.
You think of everything, don't you?
One of us has to. Aloy, when you were recovering the Alpha Registry down in the Zero Dawn bunker, I was needlessly cruel. For your sake, I hope there is someone waiting there for you inside the mountain. Not a what, but a who. Yeah!
Where am I now? Heart of the Nora is the next quest. Make it all the way back to Nora territory, but I can fast travel there. Question is, do I want to immediately fast travel back, or do I want to stop up here and get that, or do I want to stop up here and get that, power cell that's hidden up there? So, what I'm going to do... One more time. time. Got a vantage right up here. There should be a campfire right by. Quick save here. Let's see if I can get up to that. That vantage.
I just gotta tough the storm out.
There's a scrapper up in the chapter. The scrapper should be easy pickings. That's sun ring. Let's see if I can.
Here, I can look into the past with my focus.
This is the way I was supposed to go up.
Day 12.
Bryce Orbital.
As we watched the booster arc up into the night sky, riding a pillar of flame, you took my hand, squeezed it, and said, "You have written the story of our family across the stars."
So this is a place called Bryce Orbital. Or was the sun ring? We're not going to go down that way. Okay, grab that collectible. See if I can try and grab the metal flower.
Easy, easy.
We'll keep on going past. Flower is not too far. Let's see if I can grab it from up here, then I'll make my way to the nearest, back to the nearest save. Flower. So there's some handholds here to climb.
Now, what were you doing out here?
Alright, so then I'm back to my campfire.
Look out below! That's going to be something for another time. We're going to just keep
call it quits for the night. So we made a lot of discoveries tonight. Went through a lot of exposition, opened up a lot of data points, got through tough fights. And we're back on track. We're going to save here. The next time we'll pick up. I'm thinking I'm going to do a sidetrack up here to grab these couple of collectibles, corrupted zones, and find the power cell that I'm pretty sure I skipped up here. And then make our way all the way back to Nora territory. I could do a few things along the way, including this this cauldron, which should be pretty easy. Or I can just fast travel back there. But if I'm going to go back that way, I may as well grab that power cell too. So we'll see. There's some collectibles and metal flowers, this vantage points and things that I missed along the way. So we'll see if I can fill in a few of those. We'll see how I feel next time. I may skip going back up here and go right into the next quest. We'll see. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Thanks all for watching. I hope this has been a fun session. Really major plot point uncovered tonight. A lot of information revealed, and it's obvious that a lot of the plans and the backstory didn't go as planned from the state that the world's in right now. So we'll pick up here next time, and hopefully make more great discoveries along the way. So thanks for coming and playing with me tonight. Thanks for watching. And remember to like, subscribe, and comment if you like what you see. And check out my other game videos too. Have a great night.